What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for a new video. This right here is the 180 efficiency fusion, and right here I laid out pretty much what 20 chunks looks like. So all of these right here, of course I'm not going to put a chunk in each, or 7 walls or whatsoever in every single chunk, but I marked it out. So this cobblestone right here is 320 blocks, which means 20 chunks. And after that, we have this right here, which should represent the base. Now, of course, there's not going to be any water in here, so you don't need to worry about it stacking completely and working 100%. But I still want it to be able to shoot a little bit further in. If there is like a room where there is water, you want to be able to stack and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to go a little bit further in than 20 chunks, so you guys get the feeling of that. But let's jump straight into it. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys is that it is able to shoot 23 chunks exactly before anything happens to the cannon. Now, we made a big scatter for this one, and we did configure the scatter in a way so it will go through RB, even if you don't use this part right here. Now, I just want this right here as an opportunity to do more if you wanted to. But the scatter here should be going fine. It's around 43 block scatter right here, so it's a good hole you'll make in the wall as well, which is perfect. And the scatter works throughout the entire 23 chunks, which is also very important. Now, the cannon itself is very cheap to use, in my opinion. Of course, there's ways to you can make this be even cheaper. You can get things closer to the power if you wanted to, but I kind of enjoy making something that some of you guys that's not very skilled in building cannons and controlling cannons can actually follow along, because this cannon right here is pretty much the same as all other cannons. There's really no difference in this cannon from another one. Like the slap was is the same place, hammer is the same place. Everything is in the same place. Even the redstone right here is in the same place as everything else. So it's not confusing in any ways. Now, I might make some cannons after this one that is actually a very good parallel fusion, where you'll be able to shoot very, very far with very little power. But we'll see about that time. We'll see what's going on. Maybe we'll do it. And I did not have enough stand right there to stack the full amounts. Let me try one more time. This time, let's see if we can stack this one up here, because you might need to go through the same twice. No, it looks like we actually made it, which is pretty impressive, even though we ran out. So that means that we do have a little bit too much sand. Of course, I can't hit the exact number. Like, we're not going to stack 184 sand. We're going to stack a little bit more. So we're pretty much wasting around 7 sand every single shot, which is not too bad. It's 7 more sand that you also have to print in or place. So it's not really that bad, and it's not something that's so big a difference that you will have to go out and actually manage to make it perfect. It's not really something that's too serious. 7 sand, I guess we can live with that. But of course, if we had like 40 sand, that would be way too much. So we will need to change that immediately. But hopefully, everything should be going well. As soon as I release these cannons here, I have done my testing on them. And this right here is pretty much the final test. I'm going to go through an entire buffer of walls right here. And to make sure it shoots the right range, to make sure that nothing dips and nothing makes what it's not supposed to. So this right here is pretty much the result of all the testing and all the things I've done. So the cannon itself should be easier to build. I did everything with glowstone, and I've done that the past 2 collections. I'm pretty sure it's 2 collections. And I've done that because it's way easier to print in. I see it all the time that printer on some servers, I'm not saying on all servers, but on some servers where slabs stacks on top of each other and something like that. And of course that sucks, because you have to mine it and stuff like that. So that has all changed. Anyways, 1 wall away from 20 chunks. At 20 chunks, you'll pretty much have raided the entire buffer, which means that the next coming up has to be the base. Unless your server uses some special rules where you're allowed to have more than 20 buffer, this is pretty much what it looks like. Now, just right here's the base. And also, I know that you might not get the closest claims, so all you need to do is just add a little bit more power. That's it. The redstone can easily reach, so just add a little bit more power, and you should be good. If you find yourself shooting 30 or even 40 chunks, you should be good as well. Just add a little bit more power. It's not really that hard. You pretty much just follow what I did. Now, this right here was the base wall. Now we breached the base wall. Let me see. Yeah, now we breached the base wall. And we're pretty much shooting inside the base right now. Now, of course, there wouldn't be any walls inside the base, but I just quickly want to make sure that the cannon works even though it's inside the base. So we don't want to accidentally make a cannon where as soon as it gets in, it's not able to either stack or hybrid down a stack, because that would just be terrible, absolutely terrible. So we need to make sure that this cannon here can do it inside the base as well. Now, shoots 23 chunks, meaning you'll be able to shoot around 3 chunks inside the base, depending on the glitch layers and stuff like that. But 3 chunks inside the base should be good enough. That's at least where some of the hammer blows up. You'll still be able to one-shot certain things in there, like spawners and stuff like that. You just won't be able to stack, because that's kind of the limitations of the hammer, where it kind of starts to blow up, and I'm going to show you that in a second. As soon as we get 3 chunks in, you'll see how the hammer starts to kind of blow up mid-air, and that's because we're out of range. We can't really do more than that. So 23 chunks is a pretty good deal with the amount of power we have as well. Of course, for you guys that's gonna take it like that, it could be better, I agree with that. There is ways you can do this cannon better, I guess, but not the same system. You won't be able to do it the same system that I've done right here, where you'll be able to say, okay, well, this cannon here is exactly like all other cannons that you guys used to. So you'll be able to change it, and you'll be able to use it just like a normal cannon. There's no confusing, there's no things that could accidentally go wrong, because you pretty much used normal cannons for a long period of times, and now this cannon here is pretty much the same, so there shouldn't really be any issues. Now we're using a 1-push sand compression, and we might make it a double sand compression depending how hard we go, because as you can see right now, we'll only be able to stack it this high, meaning we'll be able to shoot maybe 2 or 3 times. That's pretty much it. Now I think I do want to keep them like this more, because I think it's somewhat better to keep it small. But again, if you use a dual sand compression, you can put it in 2 sides at the same time with printer, if you allow printer, of course. But we'll see. I need to do some thinking. If you guys have some thinking about that, if you want a dual sand compression, or if you don't want a dual sand compression, let me know down in the comments. Let's go ahead and have a little talk about that and see what people want. But I think at some point I'm going to do a dual sand compression. I can easily get 255 sandwich out of this. But it wouldn't really give the same effect, you know, like it's going to be, oh, what did I do that? It's not really going to give the same effect. It's going to be a big, long sand compression. It's going to be like hella long. So I don't know if we want to do that. This one here is the last wall. Should have made more walls. Anyways, let's try to fire, see what happens. Let's go ahead and shoot. Here we are. Now we should be able to see the hammer. Oh, there you are. This right here is the hammer, which means, of course, you're able to shoot 3 chunks. Why did it even start? Right here. So, okay. So this right here is pretty much the hammer, which blows up right here. Now, the sand and wet sand, of course, can dip. You know, it will go maybe through right here, then we'll start dipping, like right here. And then it starts dipping, and it might land all the way down here, and it's just gonna fall down. So of course, the sand is easier to get very far away. The TNT blows up at some point, so we kind of need to keep a score on that. Now, the cannon itself, as I told you guys earlier, is pretty much like a normal cannon, so you won't really see any difference in this one. But I do want to go over it one more time right here. So this right here is pretty much where everything goes, because as efficiency fusion, everything goes right here, power goes right here, and everything else goes where the TNT is right here. So that means the sand, that means the slap burst, that means the wet sand, that means the scatter. Everything goes in right here and getting fired out by this one. Now we have it pretty much what each of these sides right here controls what gets out. So we have number 1 and we have a number 2. The number 1 pretty much makes sure that the sand, which is right here, and the slap burst, which is right here, makes it to the wall. Now 2 ticks after, the hammer fires off along with the red sand and along with the scatter. Now we have 2 ticks difference between those because we want to have the shot dipping. So imagine that this right here is our slab bust and sand. Now, when we're shooting at the wall, then it's going to land there, and 2 ticks is going to happen before anything like gets to the wall, like the hammer. So that's going to be dropped 1 block, then the hammer comes in and it stacks it down, boom, like that. So that's pretty simple how efficiency fusion works, and double pulsing in general. So we choose to use this way instead of the double pulsing because we can actually do it. So because we're using way less power to fire out the shots, we can make each side do something different because it doesn't really use much TNT. One of these sides right here is enough to get it to the wall. So in theory, we could, if it was possible, I'm not saying it is, but if it's possible, we could have placed a guider underneath our slab and sand, so we could have like a piston go down and it would be right here, and then we will have the hammer up here, and then we will actually be able to stack and hybrid whatever with only one side of the power. So that's how I'm pretty sure that's the best way to explain it. Not really sure. Anyways, I think that'll be just about it for this video here, guys. Remember, if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, remember to leave a comment down below. And let's go ahead and reach my milestone of 5,000 subscribers, guys. I'm gonna have something very, very cool planned for you guys. So go ahead and leave a subscription to my channel. And remember to like this video here and comment down below if you have any questions, any suggestions, or if you need any help. Remember, always leave a comment. I'm gonna try to respond the best I can. But I think that'll be just about it. My name is Dexter, and I'm out.